So I'll just jump right into it. Recently, I saw a dude who I live like right next to a river, and I saw a dude on a boat, and he looked like he was by himself, and he was just blasting music. And I was just thinking, maybe that's the MGTOW dream right there. Maybe that's like just being on a boat, blasting music super loud by yourself. I think maybe later he picked some people up, but I wasn't watching him like that. But anyways, the point is, I was just thinking, what is the MGTOW dream? Is that what it looks like? I would imagine so, because it was a nice day, But then I started thinking, not really, because, if I feel like there's only certain men that can be true MGTOW, or else they're men sent their own way. They're MSTOW. And guys like Leonardo DiCaprio, who kind of, probably every Chad is a MGTOW now I think about it, because aside from the few Chads that are like brainwashed, or they're honorable, they were raised in a conservative culture, they want to have kids, they want to have a family, so therefore they will indulge in committing to women, even though women will never commit to them. But the Leonardo DiCaprio types are probably the real MGTOWs, if anything, because they use women essentially to take care of their, so they don't go crazy from a lack of sex, right? Or maybe they're gay. That's probably another true MGTOW sort. But it's like, if a guy on a boat, what makes a guy a true MGTOW is like, if that dude on a boat could be doing anything else, like if he could be fucking, a supermodel or whatever, I mean, chances are he would be doing that rather than being on his boat by himself, right? If he could. Regardless of the hefty price it might cost, or the risks involved. But if he's doing that, and he can be banging a supermodel, like a Leonardo DiCaprio type dude, then maybe he is really going his own way. Probably no man that really can go his own way and is a heterosexual man with a normal sex drive would actually do so, But anyways, I just thought that was interesting. Another thing I was thinking about recently is, like, I had a great dream earlier, before I woke up today, and there was this girl in a dream that I kind of had a crush on a while back, a while ago. And to be honest with you, she's like one of my ex's friends, but she was in the dream, and there was no sex or anything involved like that. But I was walking home, and we recognized each other, and we hugged, and we started talking and like catching up with each other and stuff. And in some parallel universe, maybe that would have happened. Like, maybe I would have been with her, and because superficially we were a better match for each other, because like we were both dating people who didn't want to commit, but at the same time it's like, you gotta put everything in context. You don't know how I don't know how that shit would have worked if we were together. Well, anyways, and then there was some African people. It turned out there was a tree. It was a large tree above us, and like some African people were in the tree, and they just started leaping out of the tree, like stealth ninjas or whatever. And I think they might have even been wearing ninja costumes. But one of them was a really big fat dude, and we started talking like just about regular shit. I can't remember exactly what it was, and I just remember feeling such a sense of peace in that dream. Like I was, wow, I made some new friends. I ran into somebody that I was pretty fond of. I'm sure if I really got to know her in the context of a relationship, I would hate her guts. But by the way, that just made me realize, like, women often have really dirty cars, or are just really dirty in general, I've noticed. But so So yeah, there's just such a sense of peace in that dream, and I was started thinking, you know what? I always used to think, like, what if I shot myself in the heart or in the head? Because those are obviously the two best ways to commit suicide. I'm not planning on doing that, at least not anytime soon. But I was just thinking, like, maybe it would be better to preserve your brain and just like shoot yourself in the heart, because maybe you can go back to that dreamlike state. Because supposedly the dream chemical, which is DMT, is released in huge quantities when you die. So maybe that's what's happening when you die. Is like your soul is fucking flying into the dream state. Like a lot of fiction deals with that too, with the virtual reality dreams and shit like that. So, and I also thought about that kid who made a YouTube video a long time ago, and he's like, he had a dream about Kid Cudi or some shit, and he was like, I want to go back to that, blah blah blah. That's why he ended up killing himself, because he wanted so badly to go back to the dream that he had. It's like you have these great dreams and you wake up in this clown world, and it's like, damn, shit's kind of unfair. Shit kind of sucks. Anyways, I've made this, I don't think I've ever actually spoken about this thing that I've noticed. It's kind of like a social phenomenon, but it kind of goes into learned helplessness and confidence. Learned helplessness is something you might want to look up, but it basically has to do with like Pavlovian conditioning. And the more you try to do something and fail, the less prone you will be to try that thing again. And this is what pretty much all incels and forever alone type men deal with. Maybe even women, you know, in their dealings with Chad. But anyways, so it's like, and you see this with animals. Of course, normies will be able to admit that this phenomenon exists with animals and should be acknowledged, but not with humans. But dogs, like a dog will, say a dog goes from, it has two paths, A and B. Somebody's car spawn is crying. But A and B, and it goes down A, it gets zapped. It goes down B, it gets a piece of food. Obviously, you know, after a bunch of trial and error, getting zapped a bunch of times, going down the A path is gonna, you know, just avoid the A path completely. This is essentially what incels are experiencing. Because you ask girls out, you ask 1,000 girls out, you go on Tinder, you swipe right a gazillion times, and really you never get anything from it. So this kind of goes into what I was talking about in a previous video, which is learned helplessness. No, it's narcissism and confidence, and how normies want you to be confident, but really what they want you to be is delusional. Because if you do something over and over again a million times and it never works, you're kind of an idiot to keep going. You know, you're kind of an idiot to not learn that it's just not working out for you. But this is what normies want. They want to keep us on the hamster wheel, keep us like spinning. So at the end of the day, women are the ones who benefit from this. Especially if you're the kind of guy who would make a good beta buck or whatever. Yeah, I was just thinking about learning helplessness and confidence. And I'm just sick of normies pretending like you're supposed to just have confidence, when really what they're advocating is narcissistic delusions about the self, you know. But anyways, so I got banned from brain cells again. This is probably like the third time this happened. But Reddit as a whole is stupid, as I always say. But this man was especially stupid. Because it was basically because, you know, Reddit has all these stupid arbitrary rules about brigading, quote unquote. So if you link directly to another subreddit, then you're quote unquote encouraging harassment. But guess what? All the left-wing communities that the Reddit admins love engage in this en masse. The rules of Reddit are so broad, and they basically only exist to ban the people that they don't like, who don't fit the left-wing agenda, and so on. Selectively. That's the only reason that the Reddit rules even really exist, if you really think about it. But, these stupid communities, it's almost like their very existence on Reddit has kind of cucked them by proxy, by simple fact, the fact that they're on Reddit. They become so cucked. And they're like, oh no, you can't do that. Don't link to another community. We're gonna get banned, blah, blah, blah. It's like, they don't realize that in behaving like that, they've given in to the enemy. They've given in to their standards. The double standards, by the way, because like I said, all the left-wing communities are allowed to fucking harass people all they want. But, it's just a cuck mentality. You can't be like that. You have to be in defiance always. You shouldn't be giving a shit, because guess what? If Reddit wants to ban you, they're going to ban you regardless. Whether you broke a fucking arbitrary rule one little time, they're going to ban you regardless. So stop being stupid. And that goes out to all the communities on Reddit which are potentially going to get banned, which are so frightful and desperate to stay within Reddit's rules and are so cucked they can't even make their own website or go to some less censored website. That goes out to all those communities like that. But anyways, moving on.